Welcome to another 3 and Out presented by Comerica Bank. I'm Dannie Rogers, and we are getting the opposing view here in Week 17 as the Lions travel to Seattle to take on Pete Carroll's Seahawks. So we're getting the opposing view from 710 ESPN Seattle's Stacy Roust, writer and host for the station. Stacy, we're going to talk some big 3 headlines, and we're going to start with running back Rashaad Penny. He was a first-round draft pick back in 2018. But he's just now starting to see some starter reps, and he's had a couple of games with 100-plus yards on the ground. So how is Penny starting to make an impact here this season?
He's making a huge impact. I mean, at least against the Bears, he was one of the only bright spots from that day and that loss. And like you said, he was a first-round draft pick. He was drafted when the Seahawks back in 2018 really wanted to lean into the run, and it ended up being Chris Carson. They had a 1,000-yard running back. It just wasn't the one they took in the first round. It was the one they took in the 7th round the year prior. So Penny's really explosive. He's got good burst. He can be an every down back. He just hasn't been able to stay on the field. He's dealt with an ACL tear, a number of other injuries. He's landed on the injured reserve, and finally he's been able to stay healthy enough to be out there on the field. The problem is, because he's been so inconsistent, and really, I mean, he has, I believe, 3 touchdowns this year, which ties a career high. We know just about as much of what to expect from him as you guys do.
The defense, we're talking about the other side of the ball, 8th best in terms of scoring, just allowing teams about 20.5 points a game. But in terms of yards per game, they're one of the bottom teams in the league, letting teams almost gather 400 yards on the ground. So when you put those 2 stats together, what does that say about this defense?
Yeah, it's like super gross. It's very weird to see a Pete Carroll defense for 2 years now. Last year, they were, I think, 2nd worst. This year, they're 2nd worst. They play a soft zone defense, so they let quarterbacks kind of eat up yards in front of them. And you'll see a guy like Matthew Stafford do that all day long. And I'm sure Jared Goff, having been from the Rams system, will probably try to do that all day long. The one area they've been really solid is Quandre Diggs has gotten them 5 interceptions this season, which ties a career high. So that's been able to get the offense the ball. The offense hasn't always done something with it, but that does play into some of that low scoring, is that a couple of those interceptions have been in the red zone. So they've managed to turn the ball over when it matters most. But otherwise, I think that what fans are worried about is, look, you've got all these playmakers. You got Bobby Wagner. You got Carlos Dunlap. You have a really promising second-year player with Darrell Taylor and Jordan Brooks. But you cannot let these teams, these offenses, move down the field, because after a while, that's just not sustainable. You're not going to be able to allow teams to eat up 400 yards of total offense and not score.
Mm-hmm. Of course, this Lions defense is going to go up against quarterback Russell Wilson, who's been one of the more consistent quarterbacks in the NFL, but we haven't seen that this season. He's had some bright spots, but this offense is last in the league, almost last in the league in terms of 3rd down conversions. So what offense do you think the Lions are going to see come Sunday?
I don't know. Danny, it's been a weird year. It's been a really weird year. I mean, not only am I trapped in a garage because of snow, but we're seeing a very weird version of Russell Wilson that frankly we're not used to. And I would say it's out of nowhere, but if you guys remember, I'm not sure Lions fans pay as close attention to Seahawks games, but starting against the Bills last year, Russell Wilson had 4 turnovers as a team and really had uneven performances through the rest of that season into this season. He's had great moments where you think, yes, that's a $35 million quarterback. That's Russell Wilson. And then he's had other moments where you wonder if it's coming back from that finger injury, which both he and Pete Carroll admitted might have played a part. But there also just seems to be a lack of chemistry that he used to have with DK Metcalf. You've seen a drop in his production. Tyler Lockett missed time while he was on the COVID list. So it's just kind of everything bad that could happen is happening. And now you've got Russell Wilson, who might be playing his final 2 games as a Seahawk, given all the rumors around this team. Maybe he won't, but that is kind of lingering in the air here in Seattle.
I hope snow is not lingering in the air, Stacey. Joe, you just said you're locked in your garage because of snow. What weather are we going to get Sunday as well in Seattle?
So here's the deal, Lions fans. It is supposed to snow in Seattle tomorrow night. And then it's supposed to rain on Sunday. So you'll probably see some, look, I'm no meteorologist. You're probably going to see some residue, some snow, but hopefully it should clear up by Sunday and we'll get better conditions against the Lions for both teams than we saw against the Bears.